Hi all. So today we shall deal with the lecture 1 of project management in construction. So the lecture 1 deals with a brief introduction about construction as an industry. So in this session we shall discuss about what are the different categories or the projects we deal with in our construction industry. So the lecture objective or the lecture outcome of this session is, once you are able to overcome this session, you should be able to discuss different categories of construction projects and characteristics of construction projects. So the contents of this session or this particular lecture, okay, deals with the basics of project management and the different types of construction projects. So different concepts involved in construction projects, different project categories, so classification of construction project on different basis. So here you can see the one of the example of modern construction projects. So in today in market you can see different types of buildings. So if you have seen in India, you might have seen the Statue of Unity, and you might have seen the underground tunneling operations, but I've seen metro construction projects in Bangalore. So those are some of the example for a modern construction project. So in this slide, you are able to see a discuss underwater hotel in Dubai. So the intents of the construction activity that has been approached here in this particular execution of work is seen in this project. So initially I'll be explaining you different types of modern construction projects so across the world, and consequentially we shall move on to the old type of construction projects that were executed in India. So here you can notice that the construction project, it is not a start from it is not a start in the future era. So it was also in the historical era. So the second example here I am taking of modern construction project is the Hanging Skywalk Bridge in Mumbai. So the specialty of this construction project here is this project was executed, okay, in a single day. Here you can notice these piers, whatever you see, okay, only these piers were constructed earlier, okay, but the elements or the segments of this skywalk bridge was it was executed in a single day. So the precast segments were brought to the site, and the traffic was only stopped on a single night. For a single night the traffic was stopped, and the erection of this particular precast segment was done in a single day. So if you have noticed that in earlier days, if you want to construct a bridge or some skywalk bridge, the project used to take for many months together or years together. But due to advancement in the technology, the project nowadays, okay, will be finished very soon. So to finish the project very soon, so what are the factors we are having? So some of the factors might be the project management, advancement of project management in construction projects. So so the project can be finished within a single day. This is the night view of Hanging Skywalk Bridge, Mumbai. So here also you can see the intensity of the traffic. If we want to withhold or stop the traffic for even a single day, okay, the complete market or this particular junction needs to be stopped. So to avoid the um traffic congestion, So this precast segmental launching technique, so for this hanging skywalk bridge was made. So the one more example for the modern construction project is Aqueduct Bridge. So why this Aqueduct Bridge has been constructed here is because to make a travel easy for the wildlife. So you can see there is a expressway. So there is an expressway dividing the forest into two parts. So here there are a lot of wildlife animals where they usually um, travel for, or they go for in search of food, they go in search of water, or they go in search of other activities. So to make the ease of movement for the wildlife, this aqueduct bridge has been constructed. So not only for the humans we require construction projects, but for the ease of movement of animals also we require construction activities. So this is one of the example of ribbon bridge in China. So you might have seen different types of bridges. Under the different types of bridges, you might have seen cabled stayed bridges. So using the modern construction technology to that cable stayed bridges. So this is the advancement in the cable stayed bridges. So you can see the extent of execution in this particular ribbon bridge. Okay, this is an Palm Islands in Dubai. You might have seen in many videos or movies. This is basically an artificial island, okay, which has been created. So here you can see this island, right? This complete island has been artificially created. So this is again one of the example for modern construction project. This is an elevator, Bailong elevator, which helps in traveling for the people. So this is Karakoram highway connecting Pakistan and China. So uh, the narrowness of the road you can see here. This is Millau Viaduct, France, the Basket Building, USA. This is one of the initial construction project that has happened in India, that is Raheja Rivanta. So we now we shall see the landmarks in Indian construction. So what are the different landmarks in Indian construction? We have seen many wonders of the world. Okay, so one of the wonder of the world is in India, that is Taj Mahal. So apart from these wonders of the world, we have many other ancient constructions or the landmark constructions which makes the India proud for its construction activity. So one of the construction is Babur's Mosque, which is situated in New Delhi. Okay, you can see it was constructed in ancient period. So construction in ancient period was done using burnt bricks. Till today in market the burnt bricks are available. So earlier ancient construction had an option, or they had an construction method using the mud blocks or using the stones. So but at that stage itself they had used burnt bricks, which till today we are using in the market. So the other landmark construction in India is townships of Mohenjo-daro and Harappa. So you can see the Great Bath of Mohenjo-daro, so which was beautifully planned in the olden period. Okay, for it is a very good example of planning of a city or a planning of a town. So this is the township of Mohenjo-daro and Harappa. So the Ashoka pillars, which were erected around 250 BC, also known as monoliths. So this is a monolithical pillar. The Grand Anicut situated in southern India. So there are many irrigation projects. So usually this Grand Anicut was started in southern India. Later the projects were moved across the country. So we can see many reservoirs like Krishnaraja Sagar reservoir, we call it as a KRS dam. Okay, you can see many other reservoirs that are across India for the irrigation purpose or for the drinking water purpose. So this is Qutub Minar in Delhi, the Taj Mahal at Agra, which is one of the wonder of the world. So here still today you can see its construction technology. So it is a complete construction is using complete white marble. So very recent landmark construction is Bandra Worli Sea Link in Mumbai. This is very recent construction. So Mysore Palace of Karnataka. Okay, so you might have seen many palaces across the world. So but when it comes to Mysore Palace, it is one of the very landmark in Indian construction. So the post-independence notable construction projects. So we had pre-independence construction projects. So in pre-independence, there were many structures which were built in the British period. So in post-independence notable construction project, in 1956, the construction of first nuclear reactor was made. In 1957, construction of Hirakud Dam. So you can see here there were many dams, that is many irrigation projects came into existence after the independence. That is in post independence we had only many of the projects which were leading to the development of irrigation practices and development of the transportation practices. So if you carefully observe here, the Hirakud Dam was constructed in 1957. The Bakra Nangal Dam was constructed in 1970. The Idukki Dam was constructed in 1976. The Mumbai-Pune Expressway was constructed in 2000. The construction of Tehri Dam was in 2005. The Bandra-Worli Sea Link was executed in or constructed in 2009. This is one of the recent advancement in construction project. So now you have seen different types of construction projects. We had seen different modern construction projects. We had seen post-independence construction projects. So we shall start our discussions related to project management. So what do you mean by project? So if I want to define project, okay, if I want to define project, okay, it is a non-routine, non-repetitive work undertaken to create a unique product or a service or a structure within stipulated cost and time. Okay, the meaning of project is it is a non-routine, non-repetitive work which has to be undertaken to create a unique product or a service or a structure within a stipulated cost and time. So for example here, if you want to construct a house of your own, okay, it is one of the project. Okay, it is one of the project. So what I mean here is your house, whatever you are going to construct, it is a non-routine. You will not construct home every day. It is a non-repetitive work. If you finish a brick work, you finish a brickwork of your project, it is a non-repetitive. So what you are going to create here, a unique product. The unique product at the end, it might be your house, or the unique service, whatever you are going to provide is the shelter. The structure, whatever you are going to have is your home. So what do you mean by within stipulated cost and time? So the meaning, the stipulated cost and time is you have a budget. So if you want to construct your own house, you have a budget, that is 10 lakhs is my budget, or 20 lakhs is my project, or 50 lakhs is my budget, or 1 crore is my budget. So that is the stipulated cost for you. So what do you mean by stipulated time? So here the word stipulated time means you have a constraint of construction time. So you cannot construct project for years together. So if it is a some budget of some 10 lakhs house, you have a construction time period of some 3 or 4 months. You have a constraint of time. So that constraint of cost and time, okay, is there in a project. So hope you have understood the definition or meaning of an project. Okay, so now you might be asking, or you might be thinking, why we require construction project management in construction industry? Why project management is in construction industry? It was earlier limited to the sectors of manufacturing, it was limited to the sectors of IT. Okay, but why it requires in construction industry? So we shall see here. Construction is the second largest industry next to agriculture in India. So construction is second largest industry. Means if you see the total GDP of the country, or if you go through any financial budget of the India, any financial year's budget of the India, the most of the budget allocated is towards agriculture. The second most allocated budget is towards the construction industry. So it might be for construction of highways, it might be construction of some bridges, or it might be construction of some points. So like that, we have a large demand next to agriculture in India. Okay, here as per 10th 5-year plan, that is if you go through the GDP of 2002 2005, the 5 to 6% of GDP, that is gross domestic product, was due to construction project. So here you might have seen the construction projects has given a vital for the growth of overall economy of India. Okay, here I am only focusing about the India. If you go to any other country also, the construction activities are major contributing factors for the growth of economy. So why do we require project management in construction industry? So you can see here the time overruns, the time and cost overruns and number of disputes in various contracts are rules, not an exceptions. So let me take the example of the construction of a house itself. So if you are an engineer, you want to construct a house. Here you might have observed, you might have heard from your friends that the labors are not available on time, the materials are not available on time, or if the materials are available on time, the price of the material is not adequate. So what happens if the price of the material is not constant, if it is go on increasing? So there must be cost overrun. It means you have some budget which has been fixed. Okay, but initially your budget is some 10 lakhs, but due to the inflation of price, your budget increases to 15 lakhs. So that increase in 5 lakhs, we call it as cost overruns, that is over the budget. So what do you mean by time overrun? So let me take that example itself. if you are going to construct a home, the labors are not readily available. Okay, they are not available on time. Okay, so there is a, due to which there is a delay in construction activity. So instead of 3 months of completion of your project, you take 5 months. So that we call it as a time overrun. Okay, hope you understood what is time overrun and cost overrun. So to manage all time and cost overrun, we require project management strategies. Okay, we require some boundary, or we require some knowledge to identify this number of disputes, or to identify the factors that are going to affected due to time and cost overruns. So for whom this project management has to be addressed? So here you should carefully observe. So for whom this project management has to be implemented? So if you take a educational institution itself, so whom do we call as the stakeholders? So what do you mean by stakeholders here? So stakeholders are the persons who are responsible for the development of that particular sector. For example, if you take the educational institution, so the major stakeholders are the students. The second most major stakeholders are the teachers as well as non-teaching faculty. Okay, the second stakeholders. Similarly, if you take the remaining stakeholders, there might be management, there might be accounts department, there might be library, there might be hostel facility. Like that, there are different set of people acting as a stakeholders for educational institution. Similarly, if you consider the construction as an industry, so who are the major stakeholders? So here the project stakeholders or participants are the individuals and organizations who are actively involved in project's outcome. So those people are the construction business promoters, like government bodies, public and private enterprises for real estate and industrial development, and other similar agencies. For example, a highway has to be constructed between 2 points. So for example, if you consider the highway between Chennai and Bangalore, so who are the stakeholders involved? There should be a government body, that is central government body is a major stakeholder, and then comes the public and private enterprises, those who will be dealing with the land acquisitions, those who will be dealing with the um, matters of industrial development. Like that, there are some people coming into picture. Similarly, the other stakeholders of the construction project is the construction management consultant firms. So these construction management consultant firms, we call them as project management consultant firms. So who are these project management consultant firms? So here, here, here you can see we call them as PMC, project management consultant. So what is the role of this project management consultants? So the role of this project management consultant is to coordinate. The role of this project management consultant is to coordinate between the government bodies, the public private enterprises, between the architect engineering associates, between the manpower recruitment agencies, the material distribution agencies, banking and financial institutions, or there might be some designing agencies. Like that, these PMCs come into picture to act as an agent or to act as an executory agent for this construction project. So here, apart from this project stakeholders, we have architect engineering associates. So we have architect engineering associates, we have construction manpower recruitment and training agencies. We have you might have heard about something called as labor contractors. Okay, might have heard about someone called as labor contractors. So these people, labor contractors, what they'll do, they'll hire manpowers for execution of the work. Similarly, we have some agencies, okay, who recruit engineers or supervisors required for a particular projects. So those things we call it them as construction manpower recruitment and training agencies. Okay. Similarly, we have construction material developing, that is called basically R&Ds, manufacturing industries, we have distributing agencies and repair and maintenance organizations. So material developing means usually this will be R&D organizations. The manufacturing industry means it will be uh, factories, distribution agencies means the agents, and repair and maintenance organizations means so after the post construction project. Okay, so there should be some persons or there should be some agency to look after the repair and maintenance. So those are also people where they come under stakeholders. Okay, so we have banking and financial institutions. So banking and financial institutions, what role they have? So the banking and financial institutions also act as a major stakeholder. Okay, they provide loan for different activities. So apart from that, we have risk insurance and legal services companies. Okay, the role of risk insurance and legal service companies. Okay, before commencement of project, initial survey has to be made for the project. So, what surveys you are going to make for the project? Okay, whether the land you are going to acquire, does it have any legal issue or does it have any other issue? So all these studies will be made by legal services companies. So where the risk insurance comes, because when you are going to execute a project, there might be huge machinery involved in the project, okay, or there will be many laborers working for your project. To cover those labors, okay, for from the sense of danger, to cover those labors from the accidents, okay, the insurance team will be coming into picture. So this is one way where the insurance people will come. The other way of insurance people coming for risk is if the project fails, if the contractor he has been bankrupt in between, okay, there might be huge loss. So these losses, unanticipated losses, will be covered by the risk insurance team. So those also will be acting as a construction project stakeholders. So apart from that, the other stakeholders are construction quality assurance and research and development establishments. So what I mean by construction quality assurance, so you have completed some project, so it has to be audited or it has to be certified by some other agency that you have made a very good work or you have made a work as per the standards. So this is called as, this certification has to be done by quality assurance team. Okay, so some person or other person, they have to certify your work, that is called as quality assurance team. So those also act as project stakeholders. So the other stakeholders are contractors and contracting firms. So who are contractors and who are contracting firms? So you might have seen in industry there is some concept called as contracting and subcontracting. The major contractor takes a complete work and there are many subcontractors who gets the divided work from the major contractors, and the subcontractors execute those works and complete it and hand it over to the major contractors. So this contractors and contracting firms are also acting as a project stakeholders. So in the same way we have project manager and his team. So project manager and his team will be working on coordinating all the project stakeholders, and also they will be looking after the time and cost overrun for that project. You have already known what actually is time overrun and what actually is cost overrun. So here the project manager has to look after the schedule, or he has to plan the schedule as per the resources available, and his team and project manager will be held responsible if there is any time and cost overrun for the project. Okay, so here they are supposed to keep a record what are the things that are responsible for project projects time and cost overrun. So these are some of the construction project stakeholders. Yes, so now we shall go deeply into the project types. So here there is two different set of things you need to understand, that is the different types of projects and classification of projects. See, different types of project is based on the need, or it is a typical. So there are two different types of projects. So the first one is need based project, the second one is business focus project. So what do you mean by need based project? So sorry, so the need based project is public need project, corporate need project, government infrastructure project. So these are under the need based projects. So let me explain this need based projects in detail. So the first type of need based project is public need project. For example, if a government is announcing a mass housing scheme, or under Swachh Bharat mission in India, okay, the government announces the free construction of toilets across India. So this construction of toilets is a basic need, or it is a public need. So this construction of toilets is a public need projects, or a mass housing scheme, okay, for a below poverty line people. So this again is a public need project. Or there is a bus stand that needs to be constructed. So that is called as a public need project. So these are need based projects. Similarly, we have, so here the need based project means public need projects. So I have discussed what actually are public need projects. So we have some other need based projects that is under that category. We have corporate need projects. So corporate need projects, for example, if you take the Bangalore city itself, so it is also called as Silicon City. So why we call it as Silicon City means there is lot of scope of the software companies or the IT companies. So the requirement of such companies in Bangalore, or the government requires such companies in Bangalore, that we call it as corporate need projects. So similarly, if you take an example of setting up of industrial areas in cities, so you might have seen in Bangalore, if you see there is a Pune industrial area. If you take up many other cities, there are particular area, dedicated area called as industrial areas, which which we call it as corporate need projects. So uh, For example, if you say the government offices or some rail corporations or the activities under such projects, we call them it as corporate need projects. So similarly, we have government infrastructure projects. So what do you mean by government infrastructure projects? So don't get confused between public need projects and government infrastructure projects. So public need projects, so as I told you, construction of toilets or a mass housing scheme is a public need project. But when it comes to government infrastructure project, it is some typical examples such as construction of highways, construction of roads, that is it might be state highways, it might be national highways, it might be village roads, the other district roads, okay, or some enhancement of older pavements to the new concrete pavements and smart cities constructions. So those projects we call it as government infrastructure projects. So uh, this all these public need projects, corporate need projects, government infrastructure projects comes under the category of need based project. So the other part, we have a business focused projects. So what do you mean by business focused projects? So there are industrial projects, new product development projects, re-engineering projects, information system projects. So what is the business focus in that? For example, uh, the industrial project itself. So there is some smart city that has been planned. Okay, so there are some particular materials that has to be transported, the materials has to be manufactured. For example, if you consider the uh, metro, underground metro construction, there are pre-segment or key segments has to be manufactured. So the manufacturing of that key segments will be taken by some company. So this is called as industrial project. So what is do you mean by new product development projects? So we have R&Ds, that is research and development institutions, for development of products, new products. So this establishment of R&Ds or research and development institutions for development of new product, this type of projects we call it as new product development projects. So similarly, we have re-engineering projects. We have a existing technology or the older technology, so we add on some other new technology to it and it becomes a new project. Okay, uh, let us consider the white topping has to be done for the existing road. The white topping here means there is already a pavement which has been bituminous pavement which has been laid. So you want to enhance the durability of the pavement, so you lay a white topping above it. So this type of project we call it as re-engineering project. So the other project type is information system project, or we call as intelligent type of projects. So this information system project means, for example, if a city has set up a CCTV camera for surveillance, okay, or if a city has made a CCTV surveillance for speed limit, okay, that kind of projects we call it as information system projects. So now the other type is classification of construction projects. So we have different types of we have already studied different types of construction projects. Now we shall move on to classification of projects. So for classification of construction projects, we should have different bases. So here in this slide you can see the classification of construction project is based on the nature of construction facility. So what are the different types or different categories we are having on based on the nature of construction facility is building construction. So you might have seen the residential building, you might have seen the commercial building, okay, you might have seen some multi-purpose building. So this all project type of project falls under the building construction type. Okay, next one is infrastructure construction. So infrastructure construction means it might be the highway construction, it might be um, metro railway construction, or it might be some stadium construction. So these all things fall under infrastructure construction. So the next type of project based on nature of construction facility is industrial construction. So industrial construction involves the project such as the silos for industries, or if you are going to construct some warehouses for storage of some material. Okay, those type of projects we call it as industrial construction. So the other category of a project that we call it as special purpose construction. For example, if there is a Olympic that has to be held in India, so we require a proper facilities, infrastructure facilities for that Olympic Games. That is, you require some temporary residential facility, some temporary structures that need to be built. So these temporary structures or temporary facilities, we call them as special purpose construction. So these building construction, infrastructure construction, industrial construction and special purpose construction falls under the category, that is the classification based on nature of construction facility. So the next basis for classification of construction project is the nature of work. So here, based on the nature of work, we have two types of uh, works, that is non-repetitive works and repetitive works. So what do you mean by repetitive works? So here, for example, if you take the construction of wall for a building, okay, you have are supposed to construct a brick wall for a building. Okay, it is a repetitive work, means you are going to construct a wall for one side of the building, again you are going to construct a wall for the other side of the building. If once one floor has been completed, again you move on to the next floor. Okay, that type of work we call it as repetitive work. But what actually do you mean by non-repetitive work? So non-repetitive works are those works once you complete it, you cannot change, or um, you cannot repeat it once again. So for example, if you take a tower, a mobile tower has to be set up on the top floor of the building. So once you construct the platform for it, and once you establish, or once you make a setup of that um, tower work, then it acts as a non-repetitive work. You are not going to repeat the work once again and again. So those categories, that is repetitive works and non-repetitive works, falls under the classification of construction based on the nature of work. So again here, if you see, based on the mode of execution, we have departmental and contractual types. So what do you mean by departmental mode of execution and contractual mode of execution? So you might have seen in the government sector, in Indian government sector, you might have seen there are two types of departments, that is central PWD, central public works department, and state public works department. So usually they take, once the government announces a particular project, so these projects, once they are announced by these departments, they are going to give it to some other contractor. Sometimes for some projects they have their manpower, they have their resources, they execute it. So if such projects, if they handle it departmentally, that we call it as departmental mode of executions. For example, if you take the street lights in India, if you take the street lights that has to be placed, so usually the electricity board people, they have their own team, they are going to fix up the poles, they are going to commission it. So this type of work is called as departmental mode of execution. Suppose instead of that, if that work, that laying of poles and the commissioning is given to a contractor called as X. So this contractor X executes the work on behalf of the government and hands over the property back to them. So this we call it as contractual mode of execution. So the other type of classification of construction project here is based on nature of construction contract. So based on nature of construction contract, we have uh, cost plus contract, item rate contract, lump sum contract, turnkey, or BOT, or EPC. So cost plus means you have some material. So in addition to that material, cost of that material, you charge extra thing. As a contractor, you charge extra for it. That is called as cost plus. The other one is item rate contract. So what do you mean by item rate contract? Item wise, you propose rate, new rate for each item. That is called as item rate type of construction contract. Similarly, we have lump sum contract. Lump sum means as a whole. So as a whole means there is some room or a hall to be constructed. In that, you hand it over to the contractor for some, let us assume some 1 lakh rupees for construction of hall. So whether whatever the materials involved, irrespective of the materials involved, irrespective of the labors involved, you are going to sign a contract for rupees 1 lakh. So this 1 lakh is called as a lump sum type of contract. So in the same way we have turnkey or BOT. Turnkey or a BOT is the agency takes up the work, completes the work by interacting with all the engineering team or all the stakeholders of the construction project. Then they hand it over the project to the client, the completed project to the client. So that we call it as a turnkey or BOT. BOT means build, operate, transfer. The other type here is EPC. EPC means engineering, procurement, construct. So by the terms itself you can understand it is a engineering, procurement and construct. So the contractor takes up the work, he does the engineering part, he does the procurement of materials part, he does the construction and hand it over to the client. This is called as EPC. So the next type of classification of construction project is based on the completion time. So based on the completion time means we have 4 different types again here. So the long duration program, if the project is over 5 years, okay, we call it as a long duration program. If the project duration is 3 to 5 years, we call it as medium duration project. If the project duration is between 1 to 3 years, we call it as normal duration projects. So there are some special projects where the duration is less than a year. So we call it as a special short-term projects. Usually, if you consider the laying of metro lines or metro rail construction, the project usually takes from medium duration projects to long duration projects. And sometimes usually it will be finished within 5 years, but if it is has been divided into different phases, phase A, phase B, phase C, like that, it will be usually taking for many years. So those type of projects we call them as long duration projects or long duration programs. Okay, so the next type of classification of construction project is based on the budgeted cost. So what do you mean by budgeted cost? It's based on the Indian public sector. Indian public sector means usually the government will be announcing the budget, financial budget every year in India. So we have uh, different projects. So mega value program or projects. Okay, those are less than 1 year. It is similar to the fast executable projects. So if there is a large value project that is 100 crores to 1000 crores, so I gave you an example of the metro uh, corporation or the metro rail line. So usually it costs from 100 crores to 1000 crores. So the other type of projects are medium value projects, which the budget lies between 20 crores to 100 crores. There are some other projects. So this 20 crores to 100 crores, you can see some state highways or some straight roads connecting between point A to point B. Those falls under medium value projects. So there are other projects, we call them as small value projects, which are less than 20 crore. Okay, so these are some of the classifications under based on the budgeted cost. This belongs to only Indian public sector. So based on maturity level of the project, here the maturity level of the project means the risk involved in the risk involved in projects execution. So the risk involved in project execution means, so if you see a statue has to be constructed in an island of a sea. So the construction of that statue in that island of a sea, it is having a maximum risk because the condition of the soil over there might be having much more risk compared to the construction of building in the regular land. So the based on the maturity level, that is the risk involved in a project, we have categorized the project as insignificant risk, low value risk, medium value risk, high value risk. So this is based on the risk classification. Yes, now you can see different types of building projects. So this is one of the modern technology, Burj Khalifa. So now we can go through different types of projects. This is a residential project. This is again a residential project. Imperial Towers in Mumbai residential building. So we have other types of building called as academics building, recreational building. So educational institutions and all other things, we call them as academic building. So libraries, public educational institutions, um, those falls under the category of academic building, whereas recreational building means is stadiums, swimming pools, and gyms and other things. Those projects falls under the category of recreational building. So you can see this is a national stadium. Again, it is a recreational building. So we have different types of transportation projects. So you can see the Tower Bridge in London, Ribbon Bridge of China, this Danyang Kunshan Grand Bridge of China. So the hydraulic structures called as, so there are some dams, barrages, canals, hydroelectric power plants, embankment, flood control systems. This is Hoover Dam. So uh, the irrigation projects, again it leads to the hydroelectric power plants, the generation of electricity using hydroelectric. So that is called as hydraulic structures. So we have fossil fuel and nuclear power plants for generation of electricity. we have offshore structure. So this is one of the offshore structure for extracting oil or petroleum extraction at the sea. So we require steel structure. Usually it will be uh, the composite structure, that is a mixture of steel and a concrete structure in sea. Okay, usually used for petroleum extraction. So this is one of the gas processing platform which is offshore. It is in Western India. So we have space-based and defense structures. So you can see the space-based defense structures, bunkers in Himara. So you can see the launch pads. So the construction of launch pad, again, it is a very special type of construction, because when the rockets are launched, okay, there is a huge exhaust that has been let out, and this exhaust is having a very high temperature. So the concrete or the construction platform should bear that temperature. So that is one of the technology that has to be taken care. So yeah, yes, here you can see there is a launch pad at ISRO, that is in Sriharikota. So you can see in the image itself, so there is lot of exhaust that has been let out. There is a concrete way on which this exhaust has been let out. So the temperature, the concrete has to be laid under the fire resistance category of type of concrete. The concrete has to be fire resistant. So here you can see there is an industrial structure. So industrial structure means most of the industrial structure. If you go see the petrochemical refineries, um, the manufacturing plants, silos, bunkers. So usually those are steel structure. Construction of industrial structure. Many of these things in petroleum refinery, and if you go, it is a steel structure, not a concrete structure. Why? Because steel structure is it is the completion period. So if the concrete structure is there, they cannot complete it within a specified time, and the ease of construction and the flexibility of altering it is more in steel structure. So this is one of the example of Shell monoethylene glycol plant in Singapore. This is L&T, the Larsen and Toubro construction head office, Chennai. Infosys building in Thiruvananthapuram. So these are again the special type of communication systems or the construction of towers. Again, here the transmission line tower are basically the steel structures. So water and waste management structures, the construction of water treatment plants, water purifying plants, the sewage and storm water collection systems, the construction of water distribution systems such as pipes and water tanks. It might be overhead water tank or it might be underground water tank. And for the transportation of water, there might be aqueducts. Those also falls under the category of water and waste management project. So sewage treatment plant, sewage disposal plant, okay, those also falls under the construction project. So some of the special projects means the solar hybrid gas tunnel you can see here. So high altitude construction project or some marine exploration project, some scientific projects for the improvement of science to carry out some of the projects. Yes, now we have understood in this session that is different types of modern construction project. You have seen different type of projects. We had need-based projects, public need projects, industrial need projects. We had different classification. We had different classification of projects. Okay, so hope this video helps everyone to study what is the role of project management, or what actually is a construction, how it is an industry. Okay, thank you.